Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. Today, I am doing a reading video for our beautiful collective here on YouTube. If you would like me to channel a message specifically for you and your situation today, be sure to like this video and also double check that you are subscribed. Liking and subscribing are forms of energy transfer, and this transfer of energy allows me to more easily read your situation. Right away, the very first card we have here, I keep seeing the name Kelsey for someone for some reason, but do keep in mind, whenever I channel specific letter initials, names, birth dates, or any other specific details, only take what resonates with you personally, because I do channel many pieces of information for different individuals and subsets of individuals through these readings. I also keep getting the letters P, A, T, and R as potential letter initials for someone. But with this Magician and the Mirror card sitting on the throat chakra, I see some form of communication potentially coming in as things come into balance in some form of, I'm hearing interconnection, so interpersonal connection. We are dealing with another person here, whether it's platonic or romantic. I'm hearing for some, this may actually be some kind of communication coming from a co-working environment, a co-worker, potentially a boss, a higher up, or someone who potentially would want to hire you if you are in some kind of traditional career workspace at this time. That will only be for, I'm getting about 10 to 15% maximum of people listening, potentially even less. That will not apply to everyone, but I did want to channel that for whoever could potentially be resonating with that message. I'm also hearing something about waiting on communication. So this message is especially targeted for those of you, and I'm just seeing the letters R and A as potential letter initials for someone, but for those of you who have been waiting on a specific form of communication from a person, there may be Pisces energy in someone's birth chart here, or perhaps just a lot of really emotional energy around wanting this communication. Sorry, I bumped the microphone there. But that can also symbolize interference. So someone might feel as though this communication has been interfered with in some way or blocked in some way, or that there's been some kind of miscommunication with someone that has affected some kind of connection, or a lack of communication, a silence that has affected a connection. So again, for a small sliver of people, I'm getting that this will be a work situation. For most, this will be some form of personal relationship, platonically or romantically. For some, in fact, for most, this will actually be a love situation as well, not just something platonic, but someone that you've been romantically interested in or involved with at some point in time. And there was this feeling for whoever was dealing with a love situation here. I heard the name Michael for someone. This also could be Archangel Michael, being a spiritual being that some of you connect with and are working with. With Angel of Love reversed, though, this represents unconditional love in this deck. And the fact that it's reversed, along with the Sun card, the New Beginnings card in reversed, tells me that someone was supposed to move forward with you into the next phase of your life. And when I say supposed to, I mean that there was a strong sense of destiny to your connection, was and is. And the complicated thing is, I feel for whoever you are, and most likely you are a divine feminine listening. Although that may not be the case for everyone, take those labels, masculine and feminine, as they connect. But I am sensing that the complicated thing for you, divine feminine, is that you feel the fate, you feel the destiny that you share with this person at a soul level, in spite of the interferences, in spite of the way that things have panned out recently, which again, and I keep seeing something about the month of May. So that could have been when some kind of separation happened, or when something significant happened in your connection. This also could be someone's birth month here, because I said birthmark, slip of the tongue, but that might be a channeled message. Maybe someone here has a birthmark. I'm also getting the name Thomas for someone, and something about the ocean. But with the thinking man upright, I see that a masculine's ego here caused him to push away your love, divine feminine, which led you to walk away from something that you didn't want to walk away from. But this masculine made you almost feel as though you were choosing between the path that was best, highest for you, living your spiritual purpose, following your intuition, feeling peace, feeling in alignment with yourself, and the destiny, the fatedness of this connection. You almost felt as though you had to choose between these two things, between continuing your destiny at this time in the physical world with this masculine and living out your highest spiritual purpose, living in true alignments with yourself, which includes following the intuition that you may have received about needing to separate yourself from this masculine or this connection. And I feel this decision brought you to your knees with emotion. It wasn't easy for you to make, but ultimately you did choose to create space here to disconnect. For some, this may have been a block of communication or pulling back your 3D communication specifically. I'm hearing exclusivity, like I don't want to be closer in the physical or communicate more in the physical unless there is an exclusivity to this connection, unless there is you fully committing to this masculine, speaking to the masculine here, unless, because this is on the sacral chakra as well, unless there is raw emotion, openness, transparency, a commitment, authenticity. And I feel a divine feminine here I'm speaking to, holding this new standard for communication, demanding that any 3D connectedness with this person comes through transparency, comes through openness, comes with an open heart on the part of this masculine. And this new beginning, this next phase of your life that you wanted to share with him may have morphed itself into a new beginning that you felt as though you were going to on your own. You weren't going to allow yourself to be stuck anymore. You chose to break free with all tied up in the reverse position and goddess of the moon upright. And in doing this, divine feminine, you've done something very powerful. I keep seeing fives, which 555 can represent change. Someone might have the number 5 in their Earth year, so to speak. Of course, age is irrelevant, but for example, you could be 25, 35, 55, etc. In taking back your power, you, divine feminine, opened yourself up to new possibilities. But what this did at a spiritual level, and I keep seeing this beautiful aura around you, this energy around you, I feel that making this decision to choose your highest spiritual path above this connection, although it felt very fated, this connection with a masculine who allowed his ego to trigger him into interfering or allowing interferences with your 3D love connection in some way. making this choice, opening yourself to new possibilities, what this actually did, although in the physical it may have looked as though you have had a lot of change take place that at times has felt uncomfortable. Maybe you've moved jobs or locations. Maybe just feeling like you've been separating from this masculine has led to a lot of feelings of confusion and feeling detached from this situation, but not really being sure what to reattach yourself to. I'm seeing something about the color red for someone. This could be red hair as well for someone listening. But what was really happening here for you, Divine Feminine, at a higher self level is by allowing the uncertainty, by allowing your world in the 3D to feel a bit temporarily destabilized with root chakra reversed. You have chosen your highest spiritual path, and it's not that things are simply just chaotic for the sake of chaos. It's that things appear to be very chaotic. You feel very detached in a sense, or at times, from everything, because you are shifting through timelines and dimensions very, very quickly, because you are rising faster than ever into total alignment with your highest version of yourself. And so I'm going to reshuffle the cards here, but in the extended version of the reading on Patreon, I am going to be channeling more into messages, Divine Feminine, from your higher self and from your spirit guides about what is going on with this shifting through timelines that is happening to you. I'm especially speaking to those of you Divine Feminines here who have felt either as though your 3D life has been very chaotic lately, or as though you've been very detached. I just saw the number 222 as well. Detached from people, from relationships, from situations. I feel there are strong messages here for you of guidance, so we will be channeling more into that in the extended, but I keep getting these cards of peace, of things coming into resolution. So a quick preview message is that your guides are reminding you that all of this is coming to a point of resolution. Everything is working itself out in your favor. But again, those more in-depth extended messages will be in the extended Patreon reading, which is linked in the pinned comments and description box under this video. Yeah, once again, Angel of Balance. Every card I pulled here, storm warning reversed, meaning the storms are over. I'm seeing rainbow symbolism for someone as well, specifically 2 rainbows, but this also can be a very specific symbol for twin flame reunion as well. These 2 rainbows side by side, a very rare and beautiful occurrence, a mirror reflection, so to speak, of beauty. And so I see that for many of you, there could be some kind of twin flame path or twin flame situation involved here as well. If so, one quick message you need to know is, I'm getting a name with an H, by the way, for someone, but you are working in the higher realms with this twin flame counterparts if you are on a twin flame path, even if in the physical you appear to be disconnected in some way. And I do see things energetically balancing out within your twin flame situation, but this balancing out between yourself and your twin counterpart, if there is a twin flame involved, is actually happening because of what you are balancing within yourself, Divine Feminine. So I want to know what this Divine Feminine is balancing within herself. Goddess of the Moon, upright. I'm hearing that, and I'm getting a name with a B. I heard Becky or Beth or something like that for someone. Divine Feminine, in the past, you were in a state of imbalance because, and I'm getting chills and getting emotional because this is such a powerful message for you. Divine Feminine, you were imbalanced because you gave so much more than you were allowing yourself to receive. And for some listening, you may have even surrounded yourself with people Or maybe you were planted as a soul in a physical or social environment from a young age around people who, with broken hearts upright, broke your heart. And I don't just mean in a romantic sense, although I do believe this pattern of imbalance in giving versus receiving did create heartbreak in your romantic relationships later on in life for many of you listening. But I am quite literally talking about the heartbreak of wanting to be received, to be accepted, and to be loved in the way that you give love. Your guides are teasing you, Divine Feminine, and they're saying you really need people in your life that are like you, that give in the way that you give, that have a heart of compassion the way that you do. I almost see this childlike innocence about you in a sense, even though you are an old soul, or this could literally be speaking to inner child wounding still in your energy field from being a child. But either way, I see this mentality of almost not being able to comprehend the ability of others to be selfish, to not give, to not give back what they receive, to not be open to loving. Because you, Divine Feminine, are someone who has always been a natural giver, a natural lover. I feel that especially when it came to masculines in your life, I keep seeing a father or a figure that may have felt somewhat like a father in some sense. This won't be for everyone, but for some of you, this began with this figure that was potentially a family member or platonic, where you constantly tried to let them in and to deepen the bond and the connection. But this person had a huge wall up around their hearts. And I see you just standing outside the door of their heart, trying to get them to let down their walls, trying to get them to be softer with you. But this person, in some sense, left you out in the cold. I'm hearing this person was more interested in protecting themselves than giving to you, whatever that means, protecting themselves from potentially being hurt, from caring or loving too much and being left too vulnerable. This person definitely fears being vulnerable. And I'm seeing that for some, they may be someone who has struggled with substances such as alcohol in the past, but that won't be for everyone. For some of you, this may be someone who has already passed on, but that won't be for everyone either. I am getting that regardless of whether this happened early in your life with a father figure, this did play itself out with a masculine or perhaps multiple masculine figures in dating, love, or romance later in your life. I'm hearing victim mentality, so you may have very often felt like a victim when it came to interpersonal relationships with masculines in your life, because you were experiencing this perpetual, this chronic imbalance. When I say chronic, it means either it happened continuously, it was the same pattern with different people, or it was a chronic pattern with the same person. Take it as it resonates. But I do see that there was this pattern of victimhood where you allowed your power to be taken because you are such a giver that you are deep down actually more comfortable giving than you are receiving. And this actually comes from a little bit of a worthiness wound, especially around your solar plexus chakra region. And I'm getting that you may be someone who deep down, there may be a part of you that gives more than you receive, because you feel that when you are in a position of giving, it somehow keeps you in control or keeps you feeling as though You are either setting the frame for the connection through giving and over self-sacrificing, or feeling like you are somehow proving your worth. Like, if I give this person enough, then they will love me. They will have to love me, or they won't be able to leave me. There's potentially a very deep subconscious abandonment wound for some of you. This won't be for everyone, but for some of you, there is this fear of not being enough, or of being left behind, or being abandoned, that may have caused you to actually overcompensate by overgiving, over self-sacrificing, not voicing your needs, your wants, your opinions, because you were afraid of, for some, I feel almost afraid of just being alone, or being left alone, or not being worth enough to this person. But your guides are gently reminding you that you are on a path of finding this worthiness deep within yourself, and that every masculine, or if it was just one, the masculine who illuminated this pattern within you, even though it's on them to do their own healing work and they played a role in this dynamic, in a higher level sense, I'm sensing this spiritual bond between you and these masculines at the least level, at least because there was potentially some karmic pattern here where they were meant to, with woman holding a coin reversed, this represents breaking free of some karmic pattern, especially within a feminine energy. So I'm getting that through the heartbreak, many of these masculines may have actually shared, or potentially, again, just one masculine may have shared a very spiritual connection with you. I'm getting Taurus energy in someone's birth charts for some reason, also Sagittarius potentially. I feel that, cornucopia reversed. I hear your guides saying, these masculines, or this masculine, has taught you how to find your worth and value within yourself, because when you were in that state of imbalance, giving and giving but not allowing yourself to receive, most likely this was also reflected in other areas of your life as well, such as career, work, finances, whatever you consider to be your life path or life purpose, in friendships, potentially family relationships. I'm hearing lack of boundaries, so you may have struggled to set boundaries with others, struggle to give to yourself the care and the nurture that you deserve and that you require as a highly spiritual being in order to manifest your heart and soul desires. And so I'm getting a message from your guides that you are on this journey of really reopening that receptive energy, allowing yourself to receive back now into your being everything that you have given, everything that you have exuded outward for your entire life. And this is going to be uncomfortable at first. With the root chakra in the reverse position again, this is part of why your life may have been feeling very chaotic lately, because you are learning a new way of being. You are learning how to receive rather than over giving and over self-sacrificing. And it's going to take time with patience upright to unravel this deep programming, but it will happen. This is your soul's blueprint, your soul's path, and so much of what's your life has been about. I'm actually getting that, and I will reshuffle the cards here to get some clear messages. I'm getting that you actually took on this pattern of being placed in imbalanced, unbalanced energy equations, socially, in your family, in your work or society, for the purpose of helping especially the divine feminine collective to heal this very prevalent wounded pattern of victimhood that comes from lack of boundaries, accepting less than one deserves, overgiving, but blocking off your receiving energy and ending up in a very defeated, hopeless space. This is something that you, divine feminine, took on karmically in this life in order to heal, because you are a very powerful ancient soul. And this is also part of your soul contract with a masculine energy. Now, this masculine has been kind of coming up, but mostly in the 5D during this reading, which tells me that you share a highly spiritual bond. You are very energetically connected. Your bond stems very far beyond this lifetime. And this masculine, for some reason, I'm hearing he wants to make peace. So if you've been separated from this person, or there's been some conflict, disagreement, or distance in the past, I see him wanting to re-enter your life, wanting to build something harmonious together, wanting to be at peace with each other, not wanting this conflict anymore between you or this distance. There's this feeling of wanting to bridge or mend something here on the part of this masculine. And I feel that although your bond is highly spiritual and highly energetic, and he has been largely unawakened in the past, and there's been a dominance of ego on the part of the masculine here, but in spite of this, I feel this masculine almost very consciously at this point wanting to again I hear him saying, I'm coming to terms with the fact that I can't let you go, that I can't forget you. I'm seeing blue eyes for someone here. With caring connections and the thinking woman, though, I feel that you, Divine Feminine, may be very much in your head, because you've let go of the aspects of this masculine that you used to try to fix or change. You no longer have the desire to be someone's fixer or savior. You feel him energetically and spiritually, which goes back to the beginning of the reading when I said it felt like there was a really highly fated connection involved for you that you walked away from. And what you're feeling now, part of where this chaotic feeling could be coming from, is you are feeling the pull of destiny kind of pulling you back into the orbit of this person, this masculine to whom you are very spiritually connected. It almost feels like a resurrection, like something coming back from the dead in some sense. And from one perspective, you may have felt as though this person or this situation was out of the picture or out of the question for you. And that is exactly when his conscious mind starts turning to thoughts of wanting to make peace with you, wanting to reach some kind of resolution in the physical world, which, of course, because you are so energetically connected, you have felt this shift within him. And that is, again, somewhat like gravity tugging at you, pulling you back into the orbit of this connection. With caring connections upright and the thinking woman upright, I am hearing that you might be in your head because either someone else has recently entered your life. This won't be for everyone, but for some of you, you may have been back on the dating scene, or a specific other masculine may be present in your life or may have entered your life. Someone who allows you to live very much in the present moment without needing to plan too far ahead. But at the same time, you have this internal conflict because while you're living in the present and enjoying the present, which by the way is a huge part of what you came here to do and to experience as a human being, of course, as they say, not a human thinking or a human planning, a human being. And I feel that for many divine feminines, there's been this extra emphasis on the beingness of humanity, your own humanity at this time. But once again, the internal conflict comes because you also are someone who is highly intuitive and highly spiritual. So you have this awareness of your own soul blueprints, meaning the intentions that you carried into this lifetime with you as a soul. And I feel that whether it's within a 3D connection or through 5D connectedness, through energetically working together in the 5D, you do still have unfinished business with this masculine who, again, wants to come back and make peace, make resolution in some way. Perhaps the same person that you walked away from or that you really felt like you wanted to put in your past. So in the extended version of the reading, I will be channeling messages from the masculine, from your past that you may have walked away from, who now is wanting to make peace with you, is coming to terms with the endlessness, the eternity of your connection. And what this masculine wants to say to you at both the conscious 3D level, as well as any higher self love messages they may have for you as well. And in addition to this, in the extended reading, I will also be channeling more information about this other situation, whether it's a new person who has entered your life, you dating again, or opening up to those opportunities. For those of you connecting with that and internal conflicts that may be surfacing around that, I will be channeling more details as well, again, in the extended, which is linked in the pinned comments and description box under this video. But for now, I am going to close by sharing a message from the Rumi Oracle Guidebook. And these two cards are Whirling Goddess, and the second card is the Human Gift. And what I'm getting right away is part of the internal conflict you feel, Divine Feminine, is simply the fact that you are both simultaneously this highly spiritual being, this so-called goddess, remembering more and more of the spiritual nature of your own self through this unfolding, beautiful, ongoing, eternal path of awakening. But at the same time, you are human. You long to just be, to be present, to enjoy your life and this human experience as you came here to live. So in a sense, you may feel this battle at times within yourself, the struggle of, I'm hearing whether to be soul or whether to be human, but I feel there is some kind of message from your guides regarding this. So I am going to channel that from the Human Gift card specifically. Be kind to your hearts. You may believe it to be weary from doubt and distrust, so much heartbreak and so many agonies, yet still it beats. Still it persists with unquestioning allegiance to life. What a grand heart this is, this sacred heart of yours. How can it be worthy of anything other than tenderness, gratitude, acknowledgments, and appreciation? Just for a moment, let your heart be honored and loved by you. Imagine that you can crack open a window in the dustiest chamber of your own heart temple to let the light of the divine stream in. You are an extraordinary, living, divine experiment in the making. You are sacred, cherished, and loved. So do not fear your fear, but do doubt your doubts with compassion. Let it be and let it go. You are human after all, and your journey is beyond description. You are, or soon will be, seeing with greater clarity and insight a situation that has been obscured in the past. You are truth. You are insight. You are wisdom. You are life. You are strong, brave, and powerful. You are gentle, vulnerable, and inspired. I love you, and you are safe. You are the divine made flesh. Thank you for loving. Let us open the inner window. Let the stale emotion out and breathe in fresh life now. For you are to be well and thrive according to love's grace and wisdom. Wow, that feels like a really beautiful place to close this reading. I hope you received some message, clarity, or guidance from the reading today. If so, I would love to hear from you in the comments under this video. Otherwise, we will now be heading over to the extended to dive into more messages for you, Divine Feminine, from your spirit guides, from your higher self, especially those of you currently in a situation of chaos with that root chakra energy reversed, feeling a bit detached from something recently. We will also be channeling more messages from the masculine to whom you are very profoundly spiritually and energetically connected. This could very well be someone from your past that you still are feeling that connection alive with. So I will be channeling messages from their physical 3D conscious self, what they are consciously thinking and feeling, as well as any higher self messages that want to come through from them. And in addition to channeling more details and pieces of information from the reading, the extended will also contain higher self messages from the Divine Feminine to the masculine collective here as well. So again, all of that is linked on Patreon, which is in the pinned comments and description box under this video. Have a beautiful, magical rest of your day and start to your week. And I will talk to you again in Wednesday's reading.